Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a little video on the theatre roundabout in Aylesbury, on the Waterside theatre. Been requested by somebody to do a video on it so I can help understand what to do on it. So I'm going to have a little look at that. There's one particular route that confuses students and there's common mistakes on it, and that's coming from the gyratory towards the theatre and turning right past the theatre. Now, the particular roundabout does work a little bit like a spiral roundabout, where it will push you out towards the side as we go around it. There's two options that we can do. We'll look at both of them. And that's because there's two lanes that turn right coming that way. Generally, I'll use the left-hand lane of the two to turn right, because on the new road I'll be wanting the left-hand lane, which is my normal driving lane, so that just puts me there quite naturally. The issue that students find is actually when you're joining the roundabout, it puts you travelling directly towards the people that's trying to join at the first exit, which makes inexperienced drivers think I'm going to be driving into them because I'm facing them directly. But however, we have got the space to continue around safely. And the other thing to remember is where we're sat in the driver's seat or anywhere in the car, the things outside the car look a lot closer than they actually are, and that's because we're sat quite low, so we don't get the same perspective. So the people that are trying to join at that first exit do look closer than they actually are. One way to help you judge distance is anything that's starting to disappear out of your sight in the windscreen. You've still got a car length between your bumper and their bumper. Generally, depending slightly on your seating position, the actual distance you've got in between. So for me now, the Volvo's tyres are starting to just about disappear out the windscreen and the bottom half of it, so actually I've still got a car length here between me and the Volvo. So that kind of information is important to remember when we think those vehicles in front of us. We've actually got a bit more distance than it initially feels like. So yeah, I'm coming from the gyratory, and I'm going to turn right as the sign shows towards Hemel Hempstead, so the theatre is going to stay on my right throughout. This lane, currently, you would normally plan for a left and straight ahead, but there is no straight ahead here. There's no entry into the road, because that's one way coming from the library onto it. Only cyclists are allowed up there. And as you see, as I get to the roundabout, the lane will split into two, so I'm going to end up in the middle lane, turning right. So I want to stay on my lane throughout the junction. Looking early, you can see the road marker says left and right, nice and quiet, but here I need to aim into my lane, and this is where it normally looks like you're hitting things. And I have got a camera on the right side to help you. I've got an ambulance to deal with if it's coming my way. Just stay still for the ambulance. Okay, so I'm going to go around it a couple of times so that hopefully in one of the routes we get to see the vehicles in front of us and get to see what I was talking about earlier. Okay, so we've got a bit more traffic on this time on approach. One thing I talked to my students about is using your shoulders to keep your position in your lane. So for instance, now to keep in the centre of my lane, it should feel my left shoulder is in the centre of the lane. If I drift to the right, it's now feeling like my right shoulder starts to touch the road markings, so I'm going too far across. But we can also use that on the roundabout to stay in our lane. So it's too late for me to stop for the light, that's why I carried on going. So again, looks like the room is quite nicely to join, but you can see there's traffic trying to join from that first exit. And here you can see the van, it looks like I'm driving straight to the van, but keeping my right shoulder in the line is helping me keep my position. I was also keeping my left shoulder central. We'll go around again and hopefully we'll get something else that's actually stationary waiting to join, and then I'll explain kind of what I do coming off as well. So she's using the same lane. So using the same lane this time. The traffic is building. It's almost 3 o'clock, so we should get something soon. Actually, again, it's nice to join. So here, this time, we've got the learner. So now it looks like I'm driving directly to it, but checking his bumper, I'm good. Using my right shoulder to keep inside my lane, and now I'm checking nothing coming off my right is actually coming into the wrong lane that's got it wrong on the way round. So hopefully that time the front camera will show you exactly what I meant in terms of people are fearful they're driving into the car that's waiting to join. So to try and actually steer away from it rather than actually just taking the time and keeping in the space that we've got. Because if there's anything using the right hand lane to turn right, if we steer away from the cars that are waiting, we're increasing the chance of us crashing into the car on our right. So this time I'll do the right hand turn from the right hand lane. Again, thinking about the spiral roundabout premise, as I go round towards my exit, my lane is going to push me out more centrally. So, nice gap to join. Road marking's a bit faint, so just take a bit steady to keep my position. You can see here it's pushed me into the centre, but for the left signal we should be coming off the right hand lane, so join the right, unlike the car behind me. Ideally we come off the right hand lane there. Now they may have checked to make sure there's nothing in the left hand lane, which is fine, but quite often people will join the right hand side and just think, oh, I'll come off in the left lane, because not enough people actually check how many lanes turn a certain direction from the road markings on approach. So coming from Priory Road to Exchange Street, this bus lane that's currently on my left, this roundabout, will end before the theatre roundabout. So again, so for my new road, I'd ideally want to be in my left normal driving lane. So here I'm signalling, and I'm actually going to move into that lane before the roundabout after the bus lane's ended. So I'm positioned nicely for the new road. I'll end up in my normal driving lane. Now, I may be wanting to turn right further ahead, but the next roundabout towards Tesco down Tring Road, or to come back round to go to Waitrose or something. So we will show that route as well. Got a siren somewhere. Ambulance on the roundabout. It's coming this way. Currently using the bus lane, I think. So now he could want to go anywhere at the roundabout. I'm giving him options of which lane to use. Yeah, he's on his way. And with this roundabout particularly, it's important to check your left side as you join, because it's how tight it is. So this time I'm going to go ahead using the middle lane. So I'm not going to move across as the bus lane ends. Car behind me, that's why I always check before you move late, in case they move across the bus lane, like they did. That's the importance of your mirrors before you actually move, not start steering them moving. So me, I'm thinking about my position on the roundabout, as well as when can I join the roundabout and the light changing. So as I was watching the roundabout, I can go in behind the van. Again, shoulders in the centre, left shoulder in the centre, right shoulder in my lane. The van's coming off the wrong lane. We should be sticking to our lane, especially how busy it is at the moment. Yeah, so because I joined in the right lane at 2, came off in the right lane at 2, then choose an appropriate time when to do my lane change. So here, let the Mini know. Are they holding back? Yes, they are. Is the black car turning in? No, the Mini is, so there's my space. Not got anywhere, not taking me any longer to get anywhere because of the lights anyway. So, coming here, I'm going to turn right towards Amersham, and there is 2 lanes that turn right this way. Okay, so I'm going towards Gyratory. It's saying here ahead, but you see this next road marking saying right as well also. So as I join, I need to stay in the middle of the lane, and I use my shoulders to keep in my lane. Just a bit slower there because people are joining possibly when they shouldn't have. But again, a good speed around it is fine. The Tesla that's now behind me joined on the right hand lane and exited on the right hand lane, which is correct. So this time turn right towards Amersham using the extreme right lane. You can see we've not had the road markings. The van is using the centre lane to turn right. So hopefully the dash cam will pick it up. The white car that was next to him should be coming off right hand lane, which they have. I'm hoping to get a car myself on my left hand side going that way, which I believe we have. So here I'm looking across the roundabout to see what's going to block the traffic on my right. Which we are. So here, I need to stick to the right hand lane, but as the vehicle that's on my left, if I came on the left hand lane now, I'm actually encroaching their lane. Actually, I've come straight on. I thought I saw a right signal. I'll Go around again to see if we can get a vehicle that does that. Okay, so we've got a few more cars in the centre lane. Hopefully we'll get somebody turning right with me this time. I'm also looking for any right signals on the cars in the centre lane now. If anything is potentially coming my way. Looks like the blue car alongside me is going ahead. It's actually come round without a signal, but this is why we stick to our lane. Then if I want to do a lane change, once I'm clear of the junction, I'll plan that in. Now just with that lane change, just clarity, I made sure the crossing wasn't going to change before I did that, because you don't want to do a lane change just before a light that could change. That could cause harsh braking, late planning from the vehicle in the lane. Again, a bit more chance from going in the back of you. Just additionally, I'm going to show approaching the roundabout from the theatre along Exchange Street, just to show how the position of vehicles coming around the roundabout may affect our decision whether to go or not. Okay, so I'm approaching here along Exchange Street so that we can just see the position of people coming round. So the van's coming around. The red car as well has got a right signal. So his position, some people think he might be coming off. We've got to check that they are coming off. We do about that, checking their front wheels, see where they're pointing towards. If they're pointing towards me, they're carrying around the roundabout. If they're pointing towards the exit, they're going to take the vehicle off. I hope that all makes sense to you. Give the video a like, and if you want to see a video on something else, let me know in the comments.